All right, today is March 26, 2026. It is exactly 11 a.m. on the dot. So, I have some tweets I want to share with you. I'm really pushing myself not to look into what's happening in the Middle East because they are continuing, okay? Continuing their killing, their barbaric behavior. There are things that I'm seeing. It's very disturbing. So I'm trying to block a little bit. And it took me a lot of courage to focus only on Harry and Meghan kind of topics. So that's what I'm going to cover here. My goodness, the thing that I see is going on. Yesterday I saw a video of, what do you call this? The RVs that you could run, farmers usually have. It's not a tractor. It's like one of those RVs. I'll show you a picture of what I'm talking about. Off-terrain vehicle. That's what they call them. Off-terrain vehicles. It's like a game to these people. They tie, from what I'm seeing and from what the caption said, it looks like a young boy. They tie behind the truck, that particular car or RV that I'm talking about, and they're dragging him around. These people are barbaric. They cannot come to be part of our society. This is the mindset that they have. It's unbelievable. Let's go on X. Please continue to pray. I put this on the list, it's further down. Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. I saw it since yesterday. And I've seen other YouTubers talking about Perez Hilton. The moment I saw it, I try not to look too much into it because I used to see some of the things that he report about. So I was never a fan of him. Okay? So let's see what JTB has to say. The internet never forgets. Perez Hilton's health scare has people revisiting years of harsh takes on Meghan and Harry, and the karma debate is loud. Energy always circles back. Growth is possible, but receipts stay forever. All right, so 1 minute and 21 seconds screenshot.
Remember when Perez Hilton built an entire brand off dragging celebrities for sport? Remember when he came for Meghan, Duchess of Sussex? Over and over with shady headlines and bitchy takes? Remember when Prince Harry was mocked? Like his trauma and his choices were just content for clicks? Remember when cruelty in celebrity gossip was treated like entertainment and people were encouraged to pile on? Well, karma came knocking at the door. Now Perez is opening up about his terrifying health scare that left him hospitalized for 21 days. He admits it was his own stupidity that landed him there, after taking medication on an empty stomach. That situation turned into a severe ulcer, sepsis, emergency surgery, and a near-death experience. He said he had a spiritual awakening. He said he felt God's presence. He says the ordeal changed him. Bitch, please, let's see how long this revelation lasts.
I don't want to mess with JTB. I paused it. I don't want to mess with JTB because with receipt, he doesn't let you go. For me, I have that somewhat of a passive kind of thing sometimes. But, hey, thinking about it now while I'm editing this video, I 100% agree with JTB. I really don't think I do not want to fully discredit because I'm not him. I don't know what he saw. But there is a pattern sometimes that happen with many of these people. When they see a shift is happening and then the noise that is being made, they attach themselves with that noise, and they want people to trust them again. Perfect example with perfect example is what is it? Oh my God, I did cover it on my channel on PYTE, I think, and also here, the Me Too movement, okay, where she became like the face, tried to be the face of the Me Too movement, when against sexual abuse and harassment that many women were speaking up. Part of it were like some of the people with the Epstein and things like that, and she grabbed it and try to become the face of the Me Too movement. And then later on, we find out she was the abuser of Johnny Depp. I covered that, okay?
I was the go-between the news desk in the office and the reporters in the field, which you might know as paparazzi.
Approximately how many paparazzis were you in charge of?
At the time, it was about 20 in LA, a handful, maybe 3 in New York, and then 1 in DC.
And what were your responsibilities specifically as to the paparazzi?
It would be to dispatch paparazzi to various locations based on tips or just direction dictated by having a list of sort of hot spots where celebrities would be.
I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
I have backup. Go on my channel and look on some of the things that I've covered, both on PYTE and over here, APTS Sussex. Okay, this is what I'm getting from Perez Hilton. On my original recording, I said Paris. It sounds like I said Paris Hilton, but it's Perez Hilton. Okay, so back to the Amber Heard thing. All right, so there was that noise, the voice of women talking how they were being sexual abused and things like that. And then out of nowhere, she grabbed that movement to be the face of it. And then later on, through court document, things that were happening, okay? And we find out that she was the abuser of Johnny Depp. The same group that backed her up could be it. I don't know why. Okay, this is what I'm getting now. It sounds like again, I do not want to discredit his voice or whatever he experienced, but from his past and his past behavior, things that he have put online, and then now he's grabbing the thing of that spiritual awakening, and then he's gonna have all the eyes and ears on him, give him the spotlight, and then he's gonna spew BS. So people better be cautious with these type of people. That's what I'm getting from him, and I'm glad that JTB is calling it out. Okay, so let's get back to JTB's thing. I wish I thought of this when I first recorded it, but now this is what I'm getting. That's the difference when I'm recording during the day and at night. It seems like I am more like awakened or something in the middle of the night. So I'm editing in the middle of the night, so I came up with that. Okay, let's get back to the original recording. Let's just listen.
However, social media is reacting appropriately. The comment sections are giving zero fucks. But take this moment as a warning to the Meghan and Harry haters who still live online waiting to tear them down. Hate always finds a way to circle back and serve you what you deserve. And that's the read. This is the notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
Since this is in my mind, I have said in the past that both of them, Harry and Meghan, were tested in a sense by God to see if they will their values, if they will compromise their values. So they passed that test. Now, when you see when they go outside, let's say Nigeria, Colombia, what other place, Australia, different places where and Canada as well, the originals, the native of the land, bless them. It means something. Okay, and then you have a whole bunch of internet people, the squaddies, who see the light of Harry and Meghan. They throw their own prayers for them as well. So Harry and Meghan, along with their children, are blessed. So these people better stop. I don't know what will take them to stop. And the thing is that so many young people, they are messing up their own future. For a few pennies or bucks now to write nonsense for the devils, because right now this is a spiritual war we are dealing with. The devil, with what I'm seeing coming out of the Middle East, the devil is completely running rampant over there for things that they are doing to other human beings. I have never seen anything like this. So many of these young people who sitting behind their keyboard at the comfort of their home, writing nonsense to please these idiots for a few bucks, they're messing up their own future. Because if these evildoers in the Middle East could do this type of things to other human beings, and you have those people who are on Epstein file, things that come out of the Epstein file, they're doing things. What makes you think you are any different? I don't know when these young people will get it into their skulls. A few bucks will not solve their future. They actually, the devil paying to mess up their future for them, while they're helping the devil to mess up their future. Because they behind their keyboard writing nonsense, misinformation, vile thing that get people upset and things like that. When are these young people gonna stop? It didn't have to take Perez Hilton to be in that state where he almost lost his life for him to understand what he was doing was wrong. Why can't many of these people see when the wrong is right in front of them? I understand we are human. We will make mistakes. We are not perfect. But they purposely, consciously, they know the thing is wrong, but still they do it anyway. That's the thing I don't understand. Oh my God. All right. That's my thing here. I had to get this out of my chest. All right. So that's the thing about karma. Okay. Absolutely 100%. God don't like hate, wickedness. Okay, Paris is already back on the Blake Lively attack. Oh, is he? No wonder why JTB is like doesn't give a F. He's too much. Wonder what had he saw, probably his own shadowy self. Now we need karma to knock on Bauer and living toxic bullying ASS. He felt devil's presence. He is a miserable, unhappy, bitter, racist, or FART. Fart. This is the tip of the iceberg. More is coming for him. All right, I think he meant coming. All right, let's go to the next one. This one, a squaddy from Australia. We will be paying attention to her when Harry and Meghan are in Australia. Yahoo Lifestyle reached out to the Australian Federal Police about the fake petition and were politely told F off. There's the laugh here. Like I said, that petition is sitting in the rubbish bin somewhere. Harry and Meghan will get the protection, their VIP status warrants, tantrums or not. All right. I said I didn't see what other tweet she posted, Zendi Sussex, where she made reference to that. But on my past videos, some of them have already public. I've said similar to what happened in New York, where where the chase happened, and the police, NYPD, come to the conclusion that they will provide enough protection for them so they don't have that kind of mess that happened due to public safety. So I'm pretty sure they're not gonna send a whole bunch of police similar to when Charles or something go over there, but enough to keep the peace, for the people don't run out of line. And then Harry and Meghan will have their own protection. All right, signatories were insisting that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will have to foot the bill themselves for security, logistic, or government coordination. The Australian Federal Police told Yahoo Lifestyle that it does not comment on protection arrangements. All right, okay, I'm not gonna read all of this. I think I took some screenshot or put on my community board, so you could go on my community board and read some of them. Let's see if I have anything to add to what I'm seeing here. One thing is royalists and derangers are consistent in the stupidity, because every Harry and Meghan trip, we don't think they can sink any lower, and they do. I'm not so sure why they are running scared of this Australian trip, because the length they're going to stop is just full on deranged. I'm praying for Harry and Meghan's safety and hope the real Aussies come out and cheer them on. The royal family is scared shitless of the reception that Harry and Meghan are going to receive. It's because Australia is predominantly white country in terms of numbers, and it's on the edge of breaking away from the British monarchy out altogether. Plus, they know the only people who were very truly welcome here are Princess Diana and Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan were in Canada last year, January, on philanthropic work, and it was known based on experience that Meghan would attend, and there wasn't this much vitriol. Could it be a combination of 1, Prince Andrew and Epstein scandal, negative headline, distraction, 2, fact that there was a successful? Yes, I'd forgotten those 2 scandals too, but I also think Australians are less impressed by royal generally than Canadians. Might be the convict anti-establishment historical culture. Alright, so there's all of that. There's more on my community board. You could go and check it out. Alright, so there's something about Tom Brown. I try not to talk too much about his work. Okay, I may not read all of this. I also shared this on my community board. Haha, Tom Brown's press tour for this book has not been going well. Every time he speaks, he sounds like he's sundowning. There's the laugh. Here he was on GB News accusing Meghan of campaign. What the hell? There's the word here. I'm telling you, these old people are toxic. He also claimed that the UK immigrant community believes the allegation of racism and feels sorry for Harry and Meghan, but much less for Meghan. There's the thinking face here. It's like every ridiculous thing he says has to end with a dig at Meghan. I would love to know when he had time to poll the UK young immigrant communities about their feelings toward Harry and Meghan. By the way, the UK young immigrant communities don't need Harry and Meghan to convince them that the UK is racist. They live in that reality every day. I also love that he thinks his book is going to be a problem for the Sussexes because the last one was so influential. As I'm reading this, what came to mind is that how the UK keeps on refusing accepting immigrants, okay? They're pushing them out, but yet look what's happening in the Middle East and pretty much other countries that let's say Israel is destroying, taking their land and all of that. Okay, as much as I hate to say this, okay, the UK and many of the European countries, they are part of what's going on in the Middle East, because there is absolutely no way why people in position of power kept their mouth shut, and they're not trying to do anything to stop Israel from doing what it is doing in the Middle East. They are part of it, and then they refuse to take immigrants in. So they're pushing them, destroying their homeland, and then they're not providing a safety net. I don't know when the rest of the world, other than white people, see what is happening. I would love for many young white people to see what's going on. And then when later on in the future, when people are telling them that what they have done was bad and they want reparation, And then they're gonna claim, oh, it's a long time ago. It doesn't. They continue doing, if not worse, some of the things that their forefathers have done. It's unbelievable. It's like they're reprocessing the barbaric behaviors, and they continue doing it. And then they don't want to claim responsibility for their own action. They're always shifting the blame to something else. At some point, they need to experience that. But as much as many people outside of the US may not see it, but there are a lot of people, black, brown, some white in particular, starting to get it. All right? They see what Israel is doing. But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. What? Okay, there's that. Pause and read. Okay, I don't want to waste. Okay, maybe I'll read that. She highlighted young people and the immigrant community. Certainly, they think that the allegation of racism are true, and some people still feel sorry for him. Meghan, much less, of course. I don't know. He's in his own reality. You could pause and read. Tom Bauer, or what a tangled web you continue to weave as you practice to deceive. Right, so there's that. Whatever's on the screen. The arrogant third Bauer thinks his book is putting a Sussex visit to the UK in danger. I did not want them to visit before, but now I do. They're not hiding their racism and their stupidity. Show the toothless or thought that he is completely irrelevant. Bauer is either senile or is unmitigated liar. A campaign of terrorism suggests that Meghan speaks about the royal family on a regular basis, but she has not spoken about them in years. The UK immigrant community believe the charges of racism because they have experienced it. Alright, what world is that demented badger living in? Harry and Meghan going to get desperate and do what? Carpet bomb the palaces, sell more gems, attend more charity events. I don't know. Oh God, help us. Just help us. Next tweet. There's more on my community board. I took more screenshot for you. Alright, so next tweet. Quite fun to watch the palace methodically try to answer every criticism made by the New Statesman last year. First, a picture of the Prince of Wales reading a blank piece of paper. A blank piece of paper. Now, a last-minute revelation that he does contrary to several decades worth of briefing reports believe in the Church of England's sanctioned God. Oh my God. William should stop the vat and acknowledge the truth when his father dies. The mystics is gone. Charles III should be the last king of England. He is the last Windsor who really believes in any of the hocus pocus of his house. William doubt that God exists. Oh, is he? Huh. How can he go through with his coronation in Westminster Abbey without acknowledging that God has put him there on the throne? I don't care. Let him roll up the red carpet after Charles. Alright, like when they said the Duchess of Sussex was breaking protocol by hugging people and taking selfies, and people say, we like that, she does that. So now Kate Middleton lies, is a hugger, and Prince William is a bully, is selfie king. The racist royal are real at being fake. Are real at being fake. LOL. It's like when Omid Kobe wrote his last royal book, Endgame, and said Prince Edward is a massive germaphobe, so the palace sent him out to touch people. LOL. And the royal mother made it a point to acknowledging that he's in fact not a germaphobe because he's touching people. LOL. Oh my God. Him reading that blank piece of paper absolutely sent me. Okay, I didn't see that. I didn't come across that. I wonder if that's how the C of E ends. What's that? Okay. It's like the tales of parish vicars who have lost their faith but carry on as they quiet like the life after they get atheist supreme governor. Will a future Archbishop of Canterbury admit that none of them really believe anymore? Most likely outcome is that it lamps on for several hundred more years. I thought William III was the last king of England. Yes, but king of England sound better. So, all right, let's move on. I don't know. All right, noises. All right, so there's this you saw at the beginning of this video. All this screaming and crying against Duchess of Meghan's Australia visit being funded by Australian taxpayers but I haven't once seen in any reporting that this was ever the plan in the first place. So is the petition based on fact or just the regular annoying anti-Sussex crash out? Alright? Like these royalist trolls just get mad and work up over things that aren't even happening. What an exhausting way to live. I'm telling you, this type of tactic, the noise that they are making, it used to work in the past. Because when they put these things on the newspapers or let's say the media, okay, TV, news station talking about it, all right, it will stay at the comfort of your home. But with social media, the moment you type it, people see it at the comfort of their home and they start talking about it. So this is what messing up their thing. All right, 32,000 signatures. Many may not even be Australian, demanded Australia not to do something they were never doing, all to justify press being able to report Meghan's controversy. In reality, they promote her product and brand. Mind-blowing. Like Heavy said, they don't report news, they create news. Yeah, that's exactly that. Right, exactly. Then don't have the decency to correct the report once the truth is shared. Because what happened right now, if you look at what's happening in the US and how I used to say about the UK, they have their people and places, their bases that should be doing the work to reprimand them, or if they did something wrong, charge them with something, call them to court. But these people are on the same page. There is no check and balance. Okay, this is what's happening here. So they feel comfortable to write whatever they want because nobody's going to check them. It's the same thing in the UK when they used to write stuff about Harry, and Harry used to go to Ipso, and who run Ipso or who manage or direct Ipso? Usually people from the newspapers who probably used to work for whatever newspaper that usually carry out the same kind of behavior. So they look out for each other. They turn a blind eye. Okay, so that's why you're not seeing any accountability. And they feel so comfortable to do their nonsense. The poll story is a rage clickbait. They have made a statement that trip is privately funded. All right, pretend to be shocked. All right, let's go to the last one that I have. Okay, this has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. All right, so I thought I put it. It's so cute. And I think it's in the UK, somewhere in the UK. I listened to part of it. Come on, I'm trying to pause. All right, this is beautiful. They've been married for 36 years from different races. All right, 1 minute and 27 seconds.
You two a couple?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, 36 years.
Would you mind telling me the quick story of how you met?
I was working in Massad Market on the till and I noticed this beautiful, stunning lady walking with a beautiful walk. And I couldn't wait for her to speak to me, but she never wanted to speak to me. But one day she came and she said to me, "How much are your plum tomatoes?" And I said, 3 for 50 pence.
And how long ago was that?
It was 1990.
1989.
1989, yeah.
What was your first impression of him?
I just thought he was very English, but very handsome. Big
What was
lad.
your first impression of her?
Her walk. She wore these like
Look at her.
brown cargo pants. Only she could wear those pants the way she wears them.
Any advice to a new couple starting out, what would it be?
Patience, love, respect, compromise,
Listen to her.
listen to each other. Don't go to bed with anger. Right, let it go.
Listen, his
Oh, I
response.
didn't know those things.
What are you most excited for in the future?
Retirement.
Retirement, yeah.
Yeah.
Spend time together. The house on top of the hill.
And what are your names?
I'm Darren.
I'm Rita.
He was so cute. Look at him. Very handsome. And her too. She's very pretty. Oh my goodness. Time is something. Very, very handsome.
Well, it's always better when we
Look at this. Look where his hand. Oh, that is so cute.
get together.
Look at that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute. I know. No, tell us this one. This one. Alright, true love still exists only in the West because of poverty, relationship, downturn, war. All right, so there's all of that. That's it. May God continue to bless them. May their love continue until it's time, because we don't live forever. And may God put peace on this earth, because I just don't know what the hell this new generation, those old people whose time about to leave, and they refuse to leave this earth in a positive way. They are training, literally training those young to be savages. But anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.